You know, there are popular views about Jesus, and I will talk about 4 views that people have about Jesus. The first view people have of Jesus is what I call the mythical Jesus. That Jesus is a myth. He was made up. He's like Santa Claus. He's like Hercules. He didn't exist. But people conspired and wrote stories about him in order to dominate us. And, you know, in our, a lot of radical Africans who say, Christianity is a white man's religion. They used it to oppress us. The mythical Jesus, there was nobody like that. That logic is illogical. Because if they used it to oppress us, they believed in it first. So did they use it to oppress themselves first before they use it to oppress us? No. And by the way, Jesus Christ was not a white man. That's just historical reality. Jesus Christ was not a white man. Jesus was not a European. Jesus is a Jew, first century Jew. The first century Jews were not white people. It is after the Jews went into diaspora and went to places like Russia and Germany and Poland and Holland. And then in 1948, after the Second World War, they assembled Jews from everywhere back to their motherland. And when they came back, they had assimilated for over about 2,000 years in other cultures. So their skin color had become European. But the Jews of the days of Jesus, they were not white people. And I'm not saying they were black people like us, like you and me. But they're not traditionally black people as we are. They are not traditionally white people as you are. They are somewhere in between. They will be called olive-skinned people, whatever that means. They will be called olive-skinned people. So they were darker than the current people up there. So Jesus is not white, just to know that. And if you know anything about history, the Jews were not from Europe. The Jews were from the Middle East and grew up from there and so on and so forth. So that's it. But the people who have this view of a mythical Jesus feel that Christianity, the story of Jesus, the Gospels were all made up. Then there is the second view, those who believe that Jesus is a mortal Jesus. A mortal means that he's just another human being. He died, lived and died like any other person, and they deny the resurrection. For those who think Jesus is a mortal, they compare him to great people like Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and some great philosophers. And, you know, sometimes people quote the words of Jesus in the midst of other human people's view. They do not think that the words of Jesus are superior to anybody. They compare his words to any other philosopher. That's a mortal Jesus. Then there is the mystical Jesus. That Jesus is a human being who attained divine status. He became an ascended master, a sage, a guru, maharishi, or a guiding light, or a seer. Jesus attained spirituality. He's a man who became God. Christianity does not teach about men becoming God. Christianity teaches about God becoming man. Because a man cannot become God, but God became man in Jesus Christ. Jesus is not a mystic, neither is he a myth. And the fourth is what I call the modular Jesus. He is whatever we want him to be. A modular is somebody with different parts. It's like taking a modular course. You take this, I like this, I don't like that, I like this, I don't like that, I like this, I don't like. A lot of current Christians are modular in the sense that they like Jesus for one thing, they don't like him for another thing. Have you noticed that almost every major idea claims a part of Jesus? The communists say Jesus is a communist because he fed 5,000 people freely. The capitalists say Jesus is a capitalist because he talks about the parable of the talents. The gay people say Jesus would have encouraged gayism because he loved everybody. But they forget the same Jesus who says, "Blessed are they," is the same Jesus who says, "Woe are they." He doesn't just say blessed, blessed, blessed. He also says woe, 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 woe. He says to some people, hypocrites. The same Jesus who says to the man on the cross, the thief on the cross, you will be with me in paradise. He will also says there will be some people I will say, I never knew you. So Jesus is not just what you want him to be. Jesus is who he is. He is not modular. We don't just pick a part of him and reject another part of him.